TitleMatchNetwork.com.
When I guess Bischoff was demoted and Russo took over in power, did it affect you guys at all?
No. At that point there, I mean, it was,
Done deal.
yeah, it was, you could see the writing on the wall.
I should probably apologize publicly for the way that I did business or didn't do business with Vince Russo, because
He's a TNA, man. We can leave here and go. We got another run left, bro.
no,
I mean, do it in person.
no, but I mean, yeah, I just won't say it now because he's probably the kind of guy who watches these things. But
Not
I just-
anymore.
I just, I don't know. Like I have a bad problem about saying what I think, and I say what I think. It's sometimes in wrong settings. I don't have real good people skills, so it was real hard. I wasn't comfortable with him booking my career. So when he'd say things, I was always, yeah, but, when I should have just.
Did you always saw him as the guy, at our first run, he was the magazine guy.
And to me, he came in, and maybe deservedly so, but the way I viewed it was, there were such marks at WCW that said, oh, we're going to get the guy, this is the guy that popped Vince's TV. And having worked for Vince, you're going, you don't get it, man. He's a small cog in a big-ass machine. This guy, nothing gets done up there without passing by Vince's desk.
Yeah, Vince never signed up on it.
It wasn't like Russo was writing the TVs, He may have been writing, but they're all run by other people for approval.
And I think, and that's probably, that situation will never happen again, because at that point, Vince was in trouble. I mean, financially, the show was in trouble. There were times we were doing double their numbers. So, I mean, it's one of those deals where, like, they're grasping for straws, and Russo, started slowly pulling it out. At that point, Vince had no choice. Now, with them being the number one, that would never.
Vince went R-rated then too.
Yeah,
absolutely. And he knew that Turner's TV was more conservative, and Turner wouldn't do that. They started shooting up girls' skirts. They started.
Yeah,
they started. I mean, they had their top babyface doing stuff like this. They were cursing on TV, and we weren't allowed to do that.
No.
I got in trouble the time he booked us with those porno bras in Phoenix. It's a sweet mashup.
Wow.
Watch that too.
I don't have that. I'd like to
You
watch
should
that.
see that. All you cared about was the one girl who was like a freak, remember?
She was
Oriental.
giant, yeah, she had giant
But
colors.
they wouldn't let her work, but then you just went, oh, I'm not doing anything.
I'm not doing it. I brought her all the way. So I was at that
Thing in Frisco, watch my Frisco. That guy called me, you don't want to work with Angle? And Sid?
No. Fuck, I'm not taking a bunch of German suplexes. Fuck that.
Oh, like you used to?
I'm not going to put my, let's not talk business right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry we're talking business.
Do you guys think Vince Russo gets too much blame or too little for the end of WCW? And did you guys feel that he was a good booker?
Fuck, giving him the blame for the end of WCW is like telling fucking the guy with the cello to take the fucking wheel on the Titanic, Hey, you guys, we're almost complete. You drop the cello, come take the wheel. Fucking, it's that fucking cello player's fault, the Titanic song. Fucking, that thing was dead. You couldn't have resurrected that. It just wasn't possible.
A lot of wrestlers say that they never knew who was in charge of WCW. Is that accurate?
I knew it was in charge.
I know she was in charge.
Must have been the Mexican guy. I didn't speak good English. It's fucking buried in there.
Do you guys? How would you rate each other as workers? I want you to rate Kev, and Kev, you could rate Scott.
I mean, I've always said that he's the most talented. He can do everything because Sean's a great worker, but Sean can't work that big man style, though he has tried. But Scott can work. Scott can work because of his physical side. Scott can work like Brody, or Scott can work because he has. And I watched him. He can work the Shawn Michaels style. So to me, though, he's by far the most diversified of any guy that in my era that I've had the privilege of watching. He's by far, the best. He's the best big guy. He's the best big worker probably that the business ever seen.
Thanks, God. I tell you, actually, when Vince started to shoot steroid testing, and I went from like 285 to about 260, and then just kind of stayed at that size. when I was in WCW because guaranteed money.
Yeah, we didn't.
I mean, I thought it was kind of cool because having worked with Shawn Michaels and learning how to work better those years in New York and stuff, I felt like I could work with Rey Mysterio and have a believable performance, or I could work against Giant, against Paul White, Big Show, whatever you call him, and I felt like that. I always felt like I was like a good utility guy. I want to be like a utility man, and I thought we were a super tag team. Kev's easily the best big man in the business. He's a giant killer,
Thanks, baby.
Remember that time I started crying when you didn't show up at Starcade and you had the brownie heart attack?
Pop brownie heart attack.
I go in there and Bischoff calls me. Didn't want Bischoff going to my room. She goes, Scott, what room you need to talk to you? I just want to just get out of the shower. What room are you in? So I go up to his room. He goes, okay, don't get upset. Kev's in the hospital. He may have had a heart attack. I start crying. He goes, don't worry, but we need to know. Because I'm supposed to be off at Stargate.
Right.
I'm walking to the ring with Bischoff. He's wrestling Zbyszko because of my buddy system. And so I'm thinking I'm off. Now I got to go out, which is cool. I go out and get to do an interview early in the show in Washington, D.C. I have family up that way. But I got to go out there and say that Kev's not going to be there, which it was Giant versus Giant. This is a sweet angle they had going. Remember when he broke the cage and we did the whoa?
That was pretty cool.
But, one of the main events ain't going to be there, and I have to go out and say ain't going to be there. And I started choking up saying it and my big buddy, he's not going to be there. Hey, hear me out. He's not going to be here tonight. But
I think that, as a tag team,
I feel like this sounds so egotistical. But I sat on the bus one time in Norton in Japan. Because every night, every day I hear, Hall, that ain't Japanese style. Hey, Hall, that ain't Japanese style. Finally, after about 4 days, I turned around and went, hey, Norton, I ain't Japanese. I said, I think they've seen how I work and they wouldn't invite me over here.
Yeah,
And then I was talking. Remember, I was trying to do so hard. I got so pissed when they wouldn't book us in that egg dome for the tag tournament. So I kept saying, man, Nash's contract will be up January 1st. So by the time he flies over here, legally he can work. And, because I was on the bus and I said to Norton, I said, me and Nash are the best tag team in the world. And Scott Norton's a pretty straight shooter, And I like him. Big Rhino.
I like Rhino.
And he thought about it and went, yeah, you're right. And from him, that was a huge compliment to me because Vita didn't think so. He would have said, fuck you. You guys suck.
I think the Steiners were great in our era. Who else was good?
The Mulkeys.
Who were those dudes, Dudleys? I made a good impression on them, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Came in a little buzzed into LA, first day working for Vince, second time around. Hey,
Hey, man.
love your finish.
Can't wait to kick out
Can't
of
wait
it.
to kick out of it.
Fucking, I'm like, oh, God.
Dope. Sorry. You didn't hear about us?
TitleMatchNetwork.com